Imagine this. You upload a video, and before you even close your laptop, your title is written, your description is done, your chapters are placed, your social posts are ready for 3 different platforms, your next script is half drafted, and your analytics from last week have already been studied and turned into a game plan for next month. You did none of that manually. Not one word, not one click. Now imagine that this is not some distant future. This is right now. This is real. And the tool doing all of it is called Claude. And if you are a YouTuber who has not heard of it yet, what I am about to show you will completely change how you think about your channel forever. Let me start with the brutal truth that nobody in this space wants to say out loud. Most YouTubers are not losing because their content is bad. They are losing because they are drowning. Not in views, not in subscribers. They are drowning in everything that surrounds the content. The editing notes, the SEO research, the metadata writing, the repurposing, the thumbnail briefs, the email drafts, the analytics reviews, the script outlines, the chapter markers, the comment management, the upload scheduling. Every single one of these things steals time. And time is the one thing a creator never has enough of. You started your channel to create. Somewhere along the way, it turned into a full-time job managing a factory, and you are the only worker on the floor. That is the problem Claude was built to destroy. Not help with. Destroy. Completely. So what exactly is Claude? Here is the clean, accurate answer. Claude is an agentic AI tool built by Anthropic, the same company behind the Claude AI you might already use in your browser. But here's where it gets different. This difference is everything. Claude does not sit in a chat window waiting for you to ask it questions. It runs directly in your computer's terminal. It reads your files. It writes code. It executes commands. It calls external APIs. And crucially, it takes multi-step tasks and carries them all the way through to completion on its own. It does not stop halfway and ask you what to do next. It thinks, it acts, it checks its own work, and it keeps going until the job is done. That is what the word agentic means. This is not an assistant. This is an autonomous operator, one that works inside your creative workflow with the kind of precision that only code can deliver. Now, let me be very precise here, because this is a tutorial, and vague promises are useless to you. I am going to walk you through exactly what Claude can do for your YouTube channel, step by step, use case by use case, with real verified capabilities, not speculation. The first thing that changes for you is transcript to content automation. Here's how this normally goes. You record a video, you get your auto-generated transcript from YouTube Studio or a tool like Otter, and then you spend 2 to 3 hours turning that transcript into a LinkedIn post, a Twitter thread, an Instagram caption, and a newsletter section. 4 different formats, 4 different tones, 4 different platforms. That work used to require either your time or your money. With Claude and the right skill setup, you point it at your transcript file and it outputs all 4 pieces, formatted correctly for each platform, written in your established voice, ready to publish or lightly edit. Not a rough draft, not a pile of generic filler. Actual platform-native content that sounds like you. The key word here is skill. In Claude, a skill is not just a prompt. It is a structured, repeatable workflow with defined inputs, defined steps, and defined outputs. You build it once. You run it every single time. The quality stays consistent because the process is locked in. This is the difference between hoping AI does something well and engineering it to do something right every time. The second use case is metadata generation at scale. Think about everything YouTube asks you to fill in before a video goes live. Title, description, tags, chapters, end screen suggestions, card timing notes. Most creators either rush through this carelessly or they spend an embarrassing amount of time on it because they know it directly affects their reach. With Claude, you feed it your video title and your transcript, and it writes a search-optimized description, generates timestamped chapters by reading what was actually said in the video, and suggests title variations ranked by click-through potential. It can even flag sections of your transcript, where the audio might make a strong clip, giving you your short-form content strategy without you having to rewatch your own video. This is not Claude guessing. It is reading the actual words you said, organizing them logically, and giving you usable output. That is the power of running this at the file level rather than in a chat box. The third thing, and this one will make a lot of creators stop in their tracks, is scheduled automation that runs even when your computer is turned off. Anthropic built Claude. You can set Claude tasks to trigger on a schedule, daily, weekly, whenever, and they run on Anthropic's own infrastructure, meaning you close your laptop, go to sleep, and Claude is still working. Imagine telling it, every Monday morning, pull my channel analytics from the last 7 days, identify which videos underperformed against their benchmarks, and write me a 1-page report with 3 specific things I should change this week. That report is waiting in your folder when you wake up. Or every time I push a new video to my upload queue, automatically generate the description and chapter list and save it to a draft file. No button to press, no reminder needed. Just a workflow that runs itself forever on your terms. That is routines, that is real, that is available now. The fourth capability is MCP integration. And this is where things get genuinely powerful for anyone managing a channel with even a small team or a consistent upload schedule. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It is an open standard Anthropic built that lets Claude Code connect directly to external tools and services. Right now, there are MCP integrations available for YouTube workflows, meaning Claude Code cannot just write content about your YouTube channel, it can interface with the platform's data directly. We are talking about pulling actual video statistics for content analysis, managing comments, organizing playlists, handling upload metadata without you manually touching the dashboard. When you combine MCP with Claude Code's ability to chain multi-step tasks, you are building a real pipeline, not a collection of separate tools you have to manage, but one connected system that knows what your channel is, how it performs, and what it needs next. Now, I want to talk about something that most tutorials skip because it sounds technical, but is actually the most important part of making this work. That is the claude.md file. When you set up Claude Code for your YouTube workflow, you create a file called claude.mds in your project folder. This file is the brain of your operation. Inside it, you write everything Claude Code needs to know about how your channel works. Your content style, your tone of voice, your upload schedule, your SEO priorities, the kind of titles that work for your audience, the structure you use for your descriptions, your brand vocabulary, words you always use, words you never use. Claude Code reads this file at the start of every single session. It never forgets it. It never drifts from it. Every piece of content it generates, every workflow it runs, every output it creates, it is filtered through the context you set in that file. This is the difference between AI that sounds like generic internet copy and AI that sounds like you. You write the rules once. Claude Code follows them indefinitely. Let me give you a concrete example of a full workflow so you can see how this actually connects end to end. Say you have just finished recording an episode. The raw transcript gets dropped into your project folder. Claude Code, running on its schedule or triggered by you, picks it up. Step 1. It reads the transcript and extracts the central argument, the 3 to 5 key supporting points, and any standout quotes or data you mentioned. Step 2. It generates your video description, your chapters, and 3 title options ranked by search intent. Step 3. It writes a LinkedIn post, a Twitter thread, and a short Instagram caption, each formatted for that platform's conventions, each referencing the actual content of your video, not a vague paraphrase. Step 4. It saves all of this into a structured output file organized by content type. Total time you spent, 0 minutes. Total quality, consistent, on-brand, ready to use with light editing. The entire pipeline runs because you set it up once and told it exactly what to do. Here's the part where I have to be honest with you about what Claude Code is not, because the best tutorials always tell you the limits. Claude Code is not a video editor. It will not cut your footage or color grade your shots. It is not a direct replacement for YouTube Studio. You still control your channel. It is not magic. The quality of your output depends heavily on the quality of the setup you build. If your claude.md is vague, your outputs will be vague. If your skill definitions are lazy, your automations will be inconsistent. This tool rewards people who think carefully about their workflow upfront. The setup investment is real, but it is a one-time investment that pays back on every single video you publish after it. Getting started is more accessible than most people expect. Claude Code installs through NPM, which is a standard package manager available on Mac, Windows, and Linux. The command is straightforward. You install it, you log in with your Anthropic account, and you initialize it in whatever project folder holds your YouTube workflow files. You do not need to be a developer. You need to be comfortable opening a terminal, following step-by-step instructions, and being willing to build your claude.md thoughtfully. Anthropic has official documentation and a course on using Claude Code in real workflows. If you have spent time learning YouTube, SEO, or setting up an editing template, you have more than enough patience to set this up. The bigger question is not whether you can use Claude Code. The bigger question is what happens to the creators who do not? Because here's the reality of the current landscape. The gap between channels that use systematic automated workflows and channels that do everything manually is already visible in output volume, consistency, and reach. When one creator is spending 4 hours on post-production content work per video, and another creator has Claude Code, handling all of it in minutes, the first creator is not just slower, they're operating in a completely different game. They are competing with someone who has more time, more consistency, and a workflow that scales without burning out. That gap is only going to widen as these tools become more powerful and more integrated. YouTube has always rewarded consistency above almost everything else. The algorithm does not care how talented you are on the day you feel inspired. It cares about whether you showed up last week, and the week before, and the week before that. Burnout kills channels. Overwhelm kills channels. Running out of time to create because you are buried in everything around the creation. That is what kills most channels. Claude Code does not just save you time. It removes the ceiling on your consistency. It means that even when you're tired, even when life gets in the way, your workflow keeps moving because most of it does not depend on you showing up manually anymore. This is not the future of YouTube content creation. The future is already here. The creators who understand that the real competitive advantage is not just what you put on camera, but how efficiently and consistently everything around the camera operates. Those are the creators who are going to pull away. Claude Code is the tool that makes that system possible for an individual creator, not just a large team with a full production budget. You do not need 10 people to run a professional grade content operation anymore. You need Claude Code, a clear workflow, and the willingness to set it up right. Start this week, open your terminal, install Claude Code, write your claude.mbd. Build your first skill around the one task that currently steals the most time from your week. Run it once, then run it again, and then stop running it manually and schedule it to run itself. That is the shift. That is how this changes everything. And 6 months from now, when your channel is publishing consistently, your content is showing up on every platform, and you are spending your time doing what you actually started this for, creating, you will look back at this video as the moment everything changed for you. Do not wait on this one.